Hi dear viewers, Al-Hur students are proudly presenting a play with the title The Wheat is Cheaper. The purpose of the play is mainly to encourage the students towards learning English to use it in their daily lives and improve their grammar, spoken as well as written, to achieve the highest marks in exams. The play is being played under the supervision of our beloved teacher, Sir Mohammed Jaffer, who always says, try and try until success.
Let us introduce the characters of the play. Abdul Rahman as a merchant.
Hi, I am a merchant.
Wayed as a farmer.
Hi, I am a farmer.
And Bayan as a field worker.
Hi, I am a field worker.
Ravi and Ashok went to see David Smith. David's father, Mr. Smith, is an Englishman. And he has traveled widely and he is now working in India. Ashok and Ravi met David only a few days ago, but the three boys now meet almost every day. That evening, the boys started talking about stories.
Ravi reads a lot of storybooks. Perhaps he wants to become a writer or a storyteller.
Everybody likes stories. I like listening to good stories, don't you, David?
Yes, of course. Why don't you tell me one?
I wanted you to tell us a good English story. Please tell us one.
I will, some other day. But today, you must tell me a good Indian story.
Alright, I will. I spent my summer vacation with my grandfather in his village. He used to tell me at least one story every day. I will tell you one of those stories today.
What is the story called?
The wheat is cheaper.
Cheaper the what?
That you must tell me after listening to that story. This is how it goes. The farmer is busy in his field. Long ago, in an Indian town, there lived a merchant. He was very greedy. He used to go to towns to buy or sell large quantities of grain. And even on his way to these towns, he thought of making money. One day, when he was going to a town to buy some grain, he saw a farmer some distance away. Here he thought, is an opportunity to get some money out of this simple villager. So he walked quickly up to him and started being friendly with him.
Excuse me. Hello.
Yes, please.
Can you spare a few minutes, please?
Yes, sure.
When I was young, I used to go long distances alone. But as I am getting old, I would like a companion with me always. As we are going the same way, it is good for us to be together. We shall enjoy each other's company.
Thank you. I have never seen you here before. I believe you're a stranger in these parts.
No, I am a merchant and I have been here before, but I travel to many places.
But how can I be a good companion to you? I am only a simple villager, and you have seen a lot of the world. But perhaps it will be alright if you do all talking. I shall listen to what you say.
This is not fair. I have an idea. Each one of us can tell why it is possible to tell. If I cast a doubt on your story, I will pay you 100 rupees. But if you cast a doubt on mine, you will have to pay me an equal sum of money. How do you like it?
Fine.
So it is a bargain.
Yes, it is.
Now let's begin.
As you're the wiser of us two, you must begin.
Fine.
The merchant began his story.
As I was going along this road one day, I saw a merchant with a long train of camels. There were 101 camels, and each one of them, and all of them was loaded with large quantities of grain.
I have seen train of camels myself, and they are even loaded with very heavy goods.
All the other camels were tied together by ropes, nose to tail. It was a long train, about a half a mile.
It must have been a fine sight. And then
a kite flew down on the first camel and carried him off. What do you say to that?
It must have been a strong kite.
Do you doubt it?
No, why should I?
Just then, the kite I spoke about was flying above our head. The first camel gave the bird such a kick that let him go, and the train of camels flew right into the princess's left eye.
Poor girl. There were 101 animals, and they must have given the poor princess a lot of pain. And then,
The merchant did not know what to say, but he made a last attempt.
Then the princess started crying with pain, and Hermes stopped combing her hair. She carefully lifted the princess' eyelid and removed all the camels one after the other and put them into her pocket.
that was a good name. And then,
The merchant could not think of anything more, so he said,
this is all. This is the end of my tale. Now it's your turn. So the merchant couldn't get any money out of the farmer after all.
how was the farmer didn't cast it out on the merchant's story? He was very clever.
If the merchant is clever, he will not cast any doubt on the farmer's story either. So this is the story is how it is going to end.
No, the farmer made the merchant pay him.
Did the merchant cast it out on the farmer's story?
No,
Then how could the farmer make the merchant pay him money at all?
don't ask me. Listen to the farmer's story.
Thank you for the interesting story, but mine is much simpler. Shall I begin?
Yes, please.
The farmer began the story.
My father was a farmer. He had a fine horse and a fine saddle to put on it. Every Sunday, he used to go on his horse to the market in a neighboring village. People admired the horse, and they used to say, "What a fine horse, what a fine saddle."
Oh.
One Sunday, my father rode to the market on his horse, and he rode to the market in the neighboring village. When he returned home, he found that the horse had a big sore on its back.
Was it very big?
Yes, though it was as big as the palm of your hand. Do you know how it got the sore?
How can I?
Asked the merchant, looking very clever.
I only know that the sore was big as the palm of my hand. It must have given the poor animal a lot of pain.
No, it didn't, though it was as big as the palm of my hand. The poor animal got a lot of dust into the sore. And my father didn't know that the saddle was torn, and it has caused the sore. It was the month of June, and there was a storm. The poor animal got a lot of dust into the sore, and grains of wheat began to sprout.
What a wonder!
But he added quickly,
It is quite possible. Grains of wheat sprout when they get a chance.
They sprouted and grew. And what a fine crop we had. My father had to hire 20 men to reap it. I had done this quite possible. Sometimes I had to hire 40 men for reaping. But when we had a fine crop, we have to hire a quite number of men. We had a fine crop and we reaped 40,000 kilos of the horse's back.
How lucky your father was.
Very lucky, indeed. You know, your father was poor and starving those days.
My father?
Yes, he was starving and poor those days. When he saw your father starving, he went and he bagged him 75 kilos of wheat.
the merchant was very angry. His father never starved, but he couldn't cast any doubt on the story. So he had to make an effort to hold his tongue.
My father,
Continued the farmer.
he was a kind and good man. When he saw your father starving, he went to him and he gave him 75 kilos of wheat. Your father came and he bagged my father 75 kilos of wheat. I even go to law about it.
The merchant began running his thumb up and down his fingers. He was calculating.
Why are you running your thumb up and down your fingers? Are you calculating something?
Yes, I am.
The merchant replied. Then he said to himself,
The wheat cost less than 100 rupees, so I shall pay him the price of the wheat.
He turned to the farmer and giving him 75 rupees said,
Thank you.
Here, the price of the wheat.
Thank you. You are fair and honest, and I like the bargain.
And now David, is it the wheat is cheaper?
I don't want to cast a doubt on your story, but I believe that the wheat is cheaper.